Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we're playing Danganronpa 2, and in today's episode, we resume the class trial, and we are investigating the possibility of this being an imitation murder. So this has been mentioned a few times, but why exactly is it called an imitation murder? What about it makes it an imitation? Well, without further ado, let's hop into the game.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie.
Right?
Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
Uh-huh.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Indeed.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Right, that's what I'm wondering.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Oh? The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that now. It's gotta be to mix up the killing order, right? Maybe?
I see!
Hopefully?
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Oh, right. Okay, because I think in the movie, the hanging victim was... No, which one was
Then
first?
Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
Right, because the hanging victim was first in the movie.
A valid line of reasoning.
I got it.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
Right, because how did Ibuki have blood on
What do
her?
you mean?
Gundam's confused.
If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
She's getting hostile.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right?
Correct.
That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
She had blood on the bottom of her feet.
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed.
Yes.
That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
That's what I think, yes.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
Are we gonna have to provide that evidence?
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Okay.
And he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed.
I mean, obviously they were.
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Deductive reasoning?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
Okay.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
Now I'm starting to wonder if Gundam's the one.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Alright, so what do we have? We have blood on the soles. I think that's gonna be the piece that we need. We have... I don't think anything else is related to Ibuki.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
Okay.
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes, we agree with
Were
that.
there even any
Okay, we
footprints
gotta
of a
agree with
crime
that
scene?
statement.
Maybe her feet were on the floor,
Yes, they were.
but she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her.
Weak, 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 I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart.
That was an interesting argument. All right, Chiaki said Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed, but is that really true? It definitely is,
When
because she has
Hiyoko
blood on her
died,
soles. All right, so we'll have
Ibuki's feet were
to
on the floor.
we'll have to make that
I am
argument
telling you to
agree.
present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
No. All right,
Her
it should be
feet were on the
Sonya's,
floor.
right?
Was there any sign she stepped on something?
We agree? Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes, she did step on something. I was afraid I was about to miss that one.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
Exactly. What could that something be, I wonder?
That something was blood.
Yes,
There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
exactly.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
That is correct.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Mm-hmm.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
Yes, so there's
If
no way
Ibuki
that could
stepped on her
happen.
blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was mortally wounded.
Exactly.
Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hyoko was killed.
Right?
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye.
He just does not want to believe it. My goodness.
Is
Okay.
that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Okay.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
My
Does
goodness.
that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
He's very serious.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound.
Yeah,
it
that's-
seems you've realized our difference in status.
That's definitely why we're just standing there looking at you like this.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
That expression on our face there, that just says everything. Like, my guy, are you serious? All right, so this is the one where we gotta slash the words, I think. Oh, it's a smudge on the floor, I bet. Because that's a shoe print smudge. All right, so I
You're
think
saying
that's
the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko?
Oh, no, it's gotta be.
Ha! Impossible!
All right, we gotta do this.
Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about one did you see a nice nightmare.
Okay, we gotta do that again. I always forget how to do these mini games right before we do it, but despite his exaggerated protests, I feel like I've already seen an opening to counter. Exactly. Is this a trap?
You're
It was
saying the
very
blood on
near the
Ibuki's
beginning,
feet.
too.
Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was.
Allow me to cut through those words.
There definitely was blood on the floor. 100%.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I do.
Exactly.
If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
Uh-huh.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but
They didn't get it all?
Ibuki
Or-
must have
oh,
already stepped
mhm.
in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
Right?
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
I guess so.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left
That's
out in the
true.
open.
You'd be wondering about that.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
That is true.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
I mean, okay.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
Maybe.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right?
I hope
Then
not.
it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Right.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
I guess so.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Please, let's.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Of course there is, Nagito.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Probably. There's always something with
Hey,
Nagito.
if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
I don't think she did. Huh, suicide?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Right?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Yeah, I don't think she did.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
I think she was.
For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
It's possible,
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
but it's not likely. Anything's possible, but it's
She
not
was
likely.
afflicted by the despair disease, remember?
Mm.
That means anything can happen.
But her particular variant was she was gullible.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
That's true.
Then she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
No?
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
Then why would she also go back and kill herself again? That makes no sense.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no way she could have faked that.
Even if she did, why? What would be the purpose of hiding the crime scene? The only punishment to getting caught would be to get killed. But if you're about to do that yourself, it makes no sense.
If she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
Right?
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
He jumps
There's
from
still
A
one
to
more
C.
issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Oh, I think we saw it accurately, huh? I feel
According
like
to
we
that
saw it
video you saw,
accurately.
Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Yes.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
I don't think so. Not exactly.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
Or something. You're close,
I
Sonia.
don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
Okay.
So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So,
Hmm.
an alibi.
All
Our
right.
plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
Oh boy.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
So clearly we weren't it.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
That would be Kazuichi's area,
It's
right?
a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Okay.
Then the video Hajime saw was actually live?
That's the way it
What time
appears.
did Hajime see that video?
Before the morning announcement.
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
Exactly.
And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
Right.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Okay.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
I guess so.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Oh boy. This is gonna be crazy. What do we have? Mikan's account, surveillance, Fuyuhiko, Sonya, and the movie Invitation. Okay, we gotta look at these because I'm not sure. And we need to remind ourselves of what these were. So, Mikan's account, right up until the Monokuma announcement that morning, Mikan was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital to check on everyone and realized that Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out of the hospital to search for Ibuki, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. Okay, so that's pretty strong, I think. Fuyuhiko's account. After Fuyuhiko met Mikan in front of the hospital, they split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater and Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. But the thing is, that was after she'd already gone to the hospital. So that was well after... That would have given Fuyuhiko plenty of time. Did we have Sonya's account? Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono... I don't think... Did we have Sonya's account? I don't think. Oh yeah, we do have Sonya's account. Alright, so Sonya's account... Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled and she was unable to tie it on her own. That's when Sonya apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music venue storage room. That has nothing about time, so that's not going to help us. The invitation ticket was prepared by Monokuma. 1 ticket was passed out per person, and the date it was passed out is printed on the ticket. I don't think that's going to help us again. And what was our other evidence?
And what about the others?
Surveillance.
Right before the
Surveillance, right? That's the only one? Let's look at the surveillance evidence. Where is that? Okay. The video that Hajime saw at the hospital shows a person dressed in a hospital gown wearing a hemp bag on their head as they willingly climb a stepladder toward a noose. So I think the weakest alibi is Fuyuhiko's. So I think we're gonna assume that's the one we
I was
need.
totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So
Alright,
everyone who
let's see.
stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's
Why?
not an alibi.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Well, we do have an alibi. The murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time...
We can
Yeah,
exclude the
it's
sick
Fuyuhiko.
people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Okay.
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I
Okay.
think everyone at the motel was doing that.
All right.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
We're going to have to counter
What
his
about you
statement,
guys?
right? When he's saying he
I
was at the
where I was
cottage?
supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Okay, that's not the right one then. No, did I make a mistake? I believe I'm not mistaken when I say nobody has an alibi. Okay. So that's not the
We can
which
exclude the sick
statement?
people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Which one do
Right
we
before
need
the
to?
morning
I'm
announcement.
also trying to look to see if there's
I
any
was totally
statements
sleeping in my
we
motel
can
room.
grab and
I think everyone at the
counter
motel was
something
doing
else.
that.
But so far,
So
unless
everyone
we
who
have
stayed
to
at the motel
counter
doesn't have an alibi.
with
What
like
about you guys?
the monitor footage.
I was where I was supposed to be, my
Maybe.
own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
It's not.
aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Okay, so maybe we have to grab that last one. Person who doesn't have an alibi for that time. It is Fuyuhiko. But I'm curious, what exactly would we do? I'm not
We can
sure
exclude
here.
the sick people like me and Akane, right?
Maybe we do Mikan's
And what about the
account.
others?
Right
Because
before the
that
morning
takes care
announcement.
us and Nikon,
I was totally
right?
sleeping in my motel room.
I just don't
I
see
think
anything
everyone
else.
at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have
I'm
an
not
alibi.
sure.
What about you guys?
Let's see.
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
I don't know that
Aside
we
from those
need
afflicted
to...
by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
No,
we
that's
do.
wrong.
We do. Right? Okay,
Hold
so
on.
I had the
Not
right
all of us are
idea.
missing an alibi.
I just had the wrong evidence for that. All right.
In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
Right. So we had the right line of thinking, just not the actual right truth bullet.
you two have alibis?
Yes, yes, we
Up until
do.
I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
Yeah.
We even woke up together
Oh,
that
man.
morning.
Megan, why'd you have to bring that up again? That's gonna cause so much drama.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
It's not what you think.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Chiaki's like, right.
Too much info.
Right? I agree.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward.
Yes.
So we were together until right before the announcement.
Yes.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
Right.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
Yeah, Fuyuhiko, you're looking kind of suspicious.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
Yeah, so we have Fuyuhiko and all the people at the motel
So
as
it's inevitable
suspects.
that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Right?
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
Yeah. Well, we gotta figure this out.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
I don't know. Is it?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
I don't know. Is it?
Are you saying there was another reason?
Maybe. What would it have been?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I
love
think
how
the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Oh, man. Talk about throwing a monkey wrench into the plans. The killer had a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Maybe. Inside a trap set by one of us. If so, then whose? And what kind of trap is it? Interesting. All right. Interesting. So maybe after all, it wasn't really an imitation murder? We're just being tricked by the killer. Interesting concept. So what exactly did happen? We're going to have to investigate this in the next episode. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble, and the links are in the description. If you want to see which games we're playing each day, I post them on x.com/Liara27. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye.